I have a serious disagreement here of the personality and persona that is being constructed of the Honorable Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit. And I think the strength of the Aam Aadmi Party was to have unpacked the kind of leader that she was. Sheila Dikshit wasn't just a Congress Chief Minister. This state was handed over to her because she had various sub-treaties with the MLAs that lay behind her, with the Tehsildars that lay behind her. The Aam Aadmi Party, to begin with, opened up those contracts, the way the people, the underclass of Delhi was being harassed by the Tehsildars. You began on a bang, but slowly I see that original thrust of attack on the Sheila Dikshit government, Arvind Kejriwal's Parivartan in Sundarnagari has done stellar work on bringing out how the local state in Delhi actually keeps its underclass within steel-gated communities. So having opened up, I see that you are now somewhere in between trying to decide, we are attacking the Congress and corruption, but we've got to be secular.
What the BJP is trying to do,
thrust therefore is that if Mrs. Sheila Dikshit, therefore, even while you are pretending to be the vigilante and the Lokayukt in the absence of a Lokayukt institution, if you don't keep up what you began with, Sheila Dikshit can very well go back to gating the poor of Delhi and once again winning the elections.
The question was, which I found interesting, was that wherever you don't have a Raman Singh or a Shivraj Singh Chauhan, there is
Sheila Dikshit is more Raman Singh.
You superimpose Narendra Modi in that situation.
Sheila Dikshit is more Raman Singh.
Therefore you say to make
there is a connection.
CDS is a failure here. The cash transfer is a failure here.
There is a
Sheila Dikshit is more Raman Singh.
between Delhi and the national situation.
Who is projecting her as
Let me tell you that the funny outcome which is going to come out of the Delhi elections, where you could have a situation where there is a political stalemate, may well be a dress rehearsal for what you will find in 2014 after the national polls, because it is going to be very difficult. Let me assure you, the Aam Aadmi Party may end up doing much better than what is being shown. And then if the Aam Aadmi Party, because remember, all those voters who have voted for Aam Aadmi Party are equally against the Congress as much against the BJP. So they may find it very difficult to cut a deal with either party.
And just
it will be a very interesting situation.
Just not, I don't want to be spoiler on the enthusiasm of Ragini here about Sheila Dikshit, but the same people who are his respondents in the survey, 55% of them in prime ministerial rankings in September 2013 are also saying Narendra Modi is our number one choice.
Exactly. And that is one more small data.
That means there is a lot of people who say we like Sheila Dikshit in Delhi and we like Narendra Modi.
And it's a very funny number because it will confuse Aam Aadmi Party, because I would be very interested to see what kind of campaign they run against Narendra Modi, because in the same respondent, same survey, almost half of the Aam Aadmi supporters in Delhi want Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister.
Precisely, and that's the number.
Almost half of them.
I find it very, very interesting. Prime Ministerial candidates, and we've done this for all the states in Delhi, whopping 55% are saying that we prefer Narendra Modi, 3% say Manmohan Singh. Rahul Gandhi 18%. So if I put up all the Congress together, they don't match to half of what the number of people who are backing Narendra Modi. So what's the story here? Can the BJP, therefore, and my question to Mr. Rajagopal, then we have an open round. Mr. Rajagopal, can the BJP hope to project Narendra Modi more?
Yes, you have to wait for 29th rally or not.
No, because
the internal fight of BJP will come to an end once Narendra Modi comes to the fore.
You think so?
Yeah, I do think so. Because it is going to give him an electrifying effect. Narendra Modi in Rohini on 29th of September, from that the campaign starts and it will end up with Narendra Modi, the hero in Delhi.
Narendra Modi, the hero in Delhi, Shazia.
I think if people want Narendra Modi in the centre, when they look at the Delhi chief ministerial candidate, they're going to see Vijay Goyal and not Narendra Modi. Right. So I don't think that is what they, if they're asking for Narendra Modi and they're getting Vijay Goyal, I'm sorry, they would much prefer an Arvind Kejriwal to a Vijay Goyal, which is why most of Aam Aadmi Party supporters, as Yashwant insinuates, with documentation, would be that a lot of...
As far as the impact of Narendra Modi, especially on the youth of Delhi is concerned, I'd like to bring this to your notice, that in the very college in which he gave a speech and a lot of hue and cry was created, SRCC, ABVP lost the election there and it was NSUI which was voted in. So I'm really surprised and amused. I don't know. I mean, this kind of a persona creation. Yes, but that was because of intrinsic reasons.
Congress got hammered in Amethi. Congress got hammered in Amethi.
We won in Vadodara, in MS University.
But you got hammered in Amethi.
Rajasthan University, you were completely wiped out.
Calicut, Himachal Pradesh.
You were wiped out. Arnab, there's just one thing. Only one thing I want to say here. It's not right to say that where you have a phase which is not yet decided as regards Chief Minister for the BJP as opposed to Sheila Dikshit, you're bringing in Modi factor. Modi factor will be there. But the fact remains that it is just not the popularity of Sheila Dikshit which is going to win. Not that I'm conceding my ground on that. But the fact remains that she represents a government which consists of MLAs who are suffering from severe local anti-incumbency factor. So just her popularity, even if it is 34%, is not going to be sufficient for the Congress to sail to.
I think two stories, two graphics as you want to read out. Two graphics. First, ladies and gentlemen, look at this graphic. This is the Chief Minister rating graphic. Now, my view on this is the following. I think that the 17% that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal gets, almost the same as the 18% of Vijay Goyal, proves that his positioning himself as the man who takes on Sheila Dikshit has been fairly successful. Let's give it to Arvind Kejriwal. This is damn good positioning for a person who's making a political debut. The second point I want to make, and I'm coming to you, Lord Meghnad Desai and Navika, just after that, is on how they stack up as Prime Minister candidates. We spoke here about what it means in terms of the 55% for Narendra Modi. Now, let's pull that one up. How the people of Delhi want their Prime Ministerial candidates. And my view on that is the following. Ladies and gentlemen, my view is that the 3% that Manmohan Singh gets, this 3% that he gets proves that there is huge dissatisfaction with the central government, and the Congress party should be extremely careful, because this dissatisfaction with the central government, it cannot be limited only to Delhi, and this is a party which got 20 plus seats in urban clusters last time. If the Congress doesn't read the writing on the wall, that Manmohan Singh's unpopularity and the dissatisfaction with the central government could have a cascading impact, not just in Delhi but all urban households. Do you agree with that, Navika?
Absolutely. I mean, the way things are standing as far as the national scene is concerned, Modi is the man that most people in Delhi, and that you'll see across the states. Different states, we've done the same exercise. Yeah. It really goes to prove. But the real issue is for Dr. Harshvardhan saying, the leadership crisis. Dr. Harshvardhan saying the leadership crisis is where the BJP is losing its plot. In urban Delhi, it's been the charisma of Sheila Dikshit versus nobody from the BJP. So virtually, time after time, you're giving her a complete walkover. Is the BJP still not going to learn, because you're still talking about collective leadership? Don't you have an alternative to Sheila Dikshit?
They don't.
Let him answer.
Yeah. Poor chap.
Dr. Harshvardhan.
Dr. Harshvardhan, Navika's question here. Good evening. Arnab here.
Yes,
how are you doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
Navika's question is very simple, Dr. Harshvardhan. She's trying to say that if the BJP projected you as the chief ministerial candidate or somebody else as the chief ministerial candidate, then your party would have done better than by trying to push Vijay Goyal. I'm just putting it more directly and maybe a little rudely, but somebody needed to be projected, someone better than Vijay Goyal.
No, I would not say that someone better or someone whatever, but I would certainly, I am certainly of the view, and I endorse thoroughly what Navika says, that BJP needs to project somebody and say that this is our alternative to Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit, because people cannot be kept guessing, and this is certainly the reason why you see that somehow this Congress and BJP are close to, in terms of numbers, closer to each other. But as soon as the issues are clinched, decided and put in public domain, in everybody's domain, I am sure that BJP will have a 2/3 majority, the confusion will be over, and all this talk of...
So you haven't got Nitin Gadkari and Rajnath Singh to address that problem, Dr. Harshvardhan?
You see, this is for the central leadership to decide, and we have full faith in their capability, their experience, their vision and their ability to decide this issue, and as soon as
Dr. Harshvardhan, I think you're being very as direct as anyone can be, right? So I compliment you for being direct. Nirmala Sitharaman had a big smile on her face. She knows what you're talking about. She knows that there is a leadership issue, and there you are.
So intern-assigned battles in Delhi once again, Nirmala. Intern-assigned battles, you can't decide a leader.
No, Namika, I agree with you, and just as Dr. Harshavardhan rightly has said, leadership issue is an issue on the basis of which we can, once we sort it out, we'll be able to get an impact on the, voters' mind is fair.
Yeah.
But what I want you all to be assured of is it's a matter which the BJP will take a call on.
Next week, the Election Commission is announcing the dates.
But we'll take, hang on.
How much time do you have, Nirmala?
We will take a call on it, but it... just a minute, Aarti. I understand the anxiety when BJP is, not yet answering the questions. Anxiety prevails, pushing Congress to even give a below-the-belt comment, which I disapprove of.
Which below-the-belt comment?
I just heard the Congress spokesperson to talk that it is his personal ambition. I'm sorry. Party here is BJP. It's not Congress.
That was an indirect comment.
Hold on. A Congress spokesperson should have some patience. You've had your time. You've also had your time to comment on others as they are talking. I think it's expected of a spokesperson to give the time for others too.
You've been given enough time, Nirmala ji.
No, not for sitting quiet on personalized comments.
Okay, let's come to
I disapprove of the comment made.
You've talked enough of that comment, and everybody knows what he thinks of that.
I disapprove.
I think you can move on. You can move on.
You can disapprove, ma'am. That's not for you to choose, ma'am. That's not for you to choose, having crossed the line of decency. It's my prerogative to prevent. It is my prerogative and duty to take care of my party, especially when a responsible sponsor of the ruling party crosses the line of decency.
I think you made your point.
Yes, exactly.
I have made my point now, not earlier.
And I think
I disapprove.
I don't want to move on. What I find interesting, and for our viewers watching this from Guwahati to Kashmir to Gujarat to Kerala.
He said Chowpatty.
From Guwahati to Chowpatty. The question here is that what I find interesting is that the anti-incumbency against the two-term UPA is twice as much as the anti-incumbency against the three-term Sheila Dikshit. You have to give it to Sheila Dikshit there. Then you just compare that. The anti-incumbency, when I look at this graphic, and Jay can explain this to us. Jay.
I think the central government should take the hit for anti-incumbency.
Yes.
Let's look at two interesting numbers. 71% of them said if we had an opportunity to change the central government immediately, we would do it. A very compelling and almost equivalent number. 69% said they would change the Prime Minister. Let's look at the other two numbers. State government, again two numbers pretty close, but at 55 and 51. In a way, much like the MCD elections, the mood against the centre was reflecting in those numbers. Yeah. The mood against the centre is reflecting in the state elections.
Absolutely, and therefore, as I want to say this, that has Manmohan Singh become a liability for the Congress party in Delhi, and perhaps will Manmohan Singh become a liability for the Congress party nationally? With the central government, the Congress has distanced itself more and more from the central government. Now we'll move on to Rajasthan. Yeah. Should we move on to Rajasthan?
That's right.
Will we move on to Rajasthan? And I think Sachin Pilot is there with us. Senior. Huh?
Those guys are going to take all the time. We have no time for analysis.
We are coming.
I mean, all we will see is Congress and BJP fighting the usual fight.
So let me ask you this. Before I go to Sachin Pilot. Before I go to Sachin Pilot, I'll put that question to both of you. Yeah. And my question is, do you believe the central government will become a liability for the Congress? Do they have a way out to distance themselves anymore?
Is the Pope a Catholic? Of course.
So what do they do in the next 7 months? What do they do in the next 7 months?
Well, they could resign early. They could resign early and make all our lives better. But they're not going to. We're going to live through this misery. And the Congress take at the national elections, where of course Congress is exactly in the position BJP is in Delhi. There is no leadership there. Right? Exactly like BJP is in Delhi. Congress is at the center. Congress would be lucky to get 100 seats.
85.
No.
85. We'll have a Dutch auction.
We look at Delhi figures. They tell a lot.
There's something else that's interesting about Delhi.
Yes.
It will be the first real test of how long Narendra Modi's coattails are in getting an uninspiring candidate to a position of power, because that has to translate into the parliamentary elections as well if he has to succeed.
No, they'll get Smriti Irani. They'll get Smriti Irani to lead. That's a good face.
Well, I think...
But there is another way of looking at Delhi.
Can I just move on? Let's go straight down to Delhi, ladies and gentlemen. No waste time. We have 4 states to cover before 8:30. At 8:30 p.m., we'll put out the first post-Modi snap poll, as in the post-Modi coronation snap poll. But before that, here's the picture in Rajasthan. It's a key state, and I only want to say this. Rajasthan is a state the Congress party cannot afford to lose. Rajasthan has a state which is similar to Delhi, as in the margins have been extremely close.
Very close, yes.
So it is close to losing, but it cannot afford to lose. The BJP had a lot of infighting last time. This they have got over this time. Yeah. This victory in Rajasthan will be a personal victory for Vasundhara, as we are projecting now. So what's the result in Rajasthan? Bellwether state for the Congress party.
Absolutely. First of all, we should tell our viewers that the state is important because irrespective of the margin in the Vidhan Sabha, for the past 2 elections, the trend has been that the same party literally takes all the seats in the Lok Sabha. So BJP took 21 in 2004, the Congress took 21 in 2004. Though they both won the assembly elections by margins of less than 3% of the vote. That's why this is important. The BJP here is going back to its 2003 tally. It had 120, it's getting to 180. Congress, identically, it had 56 then, it's going to 64 now. Almost similar to the 2003 tally. The vote share difference then was about 3.5%. This time it's going to be about 4%. 40% for the BJP, 36% for the Congress. Now, if the BJP maintains this tempo, then like 2004, it can end up with 19 or 20 Lok Sabha seats. And I think that is the reason these numbers are extremely important.
Absolutely. The margin of victory was there. Sachin Pilot, good evening. Arnav here. The result is on our screen right now. I don't know if you heard Jay Mrug, but what Times Now is projecting is that you will be down to 64 seats and the BJP up to 118 in a 230-member house, which means the BJP on its own will have a comfortable majority and you would lose 32 seats. Your response, Sachin?
I don't have much to say because I think these projections are way too in advance. The state of Rajasthan, I think, is a keenly contested state. We've been in government for 5 years, and I think the programs and the kind of things we've done in the last 1 year has certainly improved our position. And I don't agree with the drastic reduction in our vote share in the coming assembly elections. And also, don't forget, you keep talking about names and faces, but neither party has decided who the MLA candidates will be. So elections have become now very specific to the constituencies, and whichever party gives the best set of candidates has a much greater chance of actually winning those seats which are marginal. And don't forget, there are seats that have triangular contests. There are constituencies which the margins are very, very low. So it's a little difficult to predict with such specifics as you have to say we'll get this much less and this much more. I'm pretty confident that we'll do much better than what you predicted and come back to par in Rajasthan.
No, but Sachin, let's get Manavendra Singh also of the BJP. He's joining us right now. Sachin, I just want to correct one point there. We are not talking about large loss of vote share as far as the Congress party is concerned. We are only projecting here on Times Now a 1% loss in vote share from 37 to 36%. However, because the margins of victory, as you were well aware, Sachin, were very close last time, hence the BJP wins. And I'd like to get Manavendra in. You see, Manavendra, good evening, this is Arnab here. The BJP, many people would say, would win even if it were to get 3 or 4% more. But they get 6% more. Why do you think your party is projected to do so much better, which is a good wave? A 6% positive vote share is a very good wave in terms of Rajasthan. What explains this in your view?
I think the main issue has been governance in Rajasthan. And it's been a myth that the Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has provided a good government. People in Delhi seem to be convinced by his governance, but the people in the villages of Rajasthan have been complaining, have been moaning about malgovernance. Last 1 year, as Sachin said, that there's been a spew of announcements and spew of doles and freebies, but that's too little and too late, and it's cynical because, and as people have seen through that it's it's an election gimmick. And it's lost its spurt, the charm is gone. Even the freebies don't catch any traction anymore.
Is it also possible, Sachin, just quick question from you and then I'll go across to our analysts. Is it possible that last time actually it was an optical illusion in terms of a Congress victory? Because the margins were so wafer thin. I remember there was one seat, Sachin, in which the Congress candidate won by 1 vote.
He lost.
The closest was a one vote.
And in fact, that changed the chief ministerial equations, because C.P. Joshi was the Rahul Gandhi man who could have become the chief minister, but one vote loss for C.P. Joshi cost him the chief ministership of Rajasthan the last time around, and Ashok Gehlot came forward and became the chief minister.
And therefore the moral of the story is, Sachin Pilot, that this time it is the Congress party which has internal dissent, whereas the BJP has put its act together. So last time you won because the BJP did not put its house in order, so they did you a favor last time, which they are not doing this time.
Well, I don't think the BJP house is in order, and frankly it's not for me to judge the BJP. I rather focus myself on the Congress and our government and our party. You see, I think in the Congress party we are going with their collective leadership, and I don't think it's an issue of one faction versus the other faction. And ultimately, Arnav, as you know, Jo Jeeta wo Sikandar. It doesn't matter whether you win by 1 vote or 1,000. In a democracy, it's first past the post. So I don't think it's quite so simple to say that, you know...
corruption is an issue. You know, Ashok Gehlot government has been under fire on the corruption issue. Do you feel this also tells you the story that the Congress party is, you know... the impression one gets that the Congress party doesn't care about corruption as an election issue is misplaced?
Not at all. I think the Congress party and our government, wherever we have governments, we take strict action. Idea is that we don't live in denial. If there is something alleged or charged, investigation is done. If found guilty, people face the consequences. No one is saying that, you know, we will actually be in ostrich-like situation, not accept what's going on. But to be fair, I think the government has done reasonably well. The government has come out and really done things for all sections of society in Rajasthan. So I'm pretty much, I mean, I don't want to deny your projections. You have your own statistical analysis and poll figures. But I'm confident in the next month and a half when we go to polls, Rajasthan might show you a whole different picture than what you've given this evening.
Well, I
Sachin,
think
how much are you relying on the Rahul Gandhi factor? You have had two rallies by Rahul Gandhi in the space of 1 week. How much are you relying on the Rahul Gandhi factor to revive the fortunes of the Congress in the state of Rajasthan?
Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been campaigning all over the country, and he's campaigned twice already in Rajasthan. Mrs. Gandhi is going on 23rd, 22nd. So our leaders are campaigning, and we are leading from the front in terms of what we should be saying and doing. And we don't do a negative politics of finding faults and pointing figures. Let people judge on how our government has performed. To my mind, we've done a fair job, and people have actually liked the policies and programs. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi has had, I think, a great impact in both the two areas where we had massive turnout for his rallies.
Well, that turnout doesn't seem to impact in terms of real wins or losses. And when he went last time, he went to Vasundhara Raje's constituency. I think on the issue of corruption, there was a comment here on the impact of corruption in Rajasthan.
The impact of Vasundhara Raje's yatra since April, where she's really traversed across Rajasthan, the response from the public has been unbelievable. And the issues that they have raised during her rally are the issues that she has questioned Ashok Gehlot's government. Now, I just want to highlight two things which probably are impacting this survey. That the fact Ashok Gehlot's government was in hibernation for 4 years, and this year they've come out giving a slew of, welfare measures and so on. That's one thing. Second is, since April, when questions are being raised, he is not answered. On the contrary, the Chief Minister is following the agenda set by the opposition, which is really not for the government. The government should set the agenda, which is what Mr. Pilot is saying, and I wish it was truly that. It isn't that. Rajasthan today, agenda is being set by the opposition. The answers are not being given by Ashok Gehlot. Look at the roads, look at the level of unemployment, and above all, on water, the kind of funds which are unutilized, which are going back to the center. The Japanese have said, namaste, we will not be able to work further here, even on an issue of water. Yeah. So I think Rajasthan government has failed the people of Rajasthan, and for which your survey shows what is the outcome.
Once again, on the national impact, let's come back to the panel. I start with Manisha. If this trend is there, then 45% is the projected vote share of the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections. Just apply that to what's happening right now, and you're seeing significant gains for the BJP in this part of the Hindi heartland. How is this going to impact the run-up to 2014?
See, Rajasthan is like a lab. That's where you've got Rahul Gandhi on the ground. So to counter the Modi phenomena, you've got Rahul Gandhi.
Because they're apprehensive.
Yes, and he's coming out with the dream sequence. But on the ground, you've got Ashok Gehlot, who this afternoon sat for the metro rail inauguration. But what was the bigger thing at hand? There is a statewide strike of doctors. Patients are out on the road. The unemployment situation is such that for a police recruitment of 350 seats, over 1.5 lakh applications. And each one of those, the pension scheme, rolled out in this year's budget, does not reach the people. So in a sense, the government unpacking happens just towards the very end.
It's a telling indictment of the Congress party leadership, which everyone, including Sachin Pilot, are extremely protective about.
Pilot's own constituency, no roads.
What did, extreme tolerance of anyone the Congress party leadership is comfortable with. Rashid Kidwai, comfortable with Ashok Gehlot. Corruption charges don't matter. Communal riots don't matter. Infighting doesn't matter. Lack of infrastructure doesn't matter. Ashok Gehlot is the Gandhi's chosen man in Jaipur, whether anyone likes it or not, whether the people of Rajasthan like it or not. Is it an indictment on the Congress party top leadership?
Yes,
the results in Rajasthan.
There is a lot to introspect because there are a lot of other things that Congress party did with Rajasthan. Look at the induction of Shishram Ola in Union Cabinet. It has not served purpose.
But they've not corrected the real issue.
And this is the thing, I'm saying there is a lot to learn. There is a whole issue
Left
of that
Jyoti Mirza by the side.
Last 4 years,
Still wants
Mr.
an Ola.
and
No
Mr. Ashok Gehlot have been constantly at loggerheads. And Congress and Rahul Gandhi has just been, a spectator.
What did Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi do when the Bharatpur riots happened? At that point of time, Hartosh, there was a fact-finding mission sent out by the Congress party leadership which blamed the government for the use of excessive force, but nothing happened. There was no action taken against either the then Home Minister or the then Chief Minister. Sachin is raising his hand. Sachin doesn't like this line of questioning. Sachin, I'm coming to you, but that's a fact. That's what people are going to say, that your party central leadership did not act when it needed to. Hartosh, you agree with that?
The Congress has a long history. You can go back to 1984 of using the very judicial mechanisms that are supposed to deliver justice to subvert justice, setting up inquiry commissions, fact-finding missions. These are ways of obfuscating the truth and actually putting blame on the people who actually start the riots.
But no action was taken.
No action will ever be taken. This is a Congress, part of the Congress's legacy on communal rights as well.
But Sachin, some tough questions your party leadership will have to answer. Will you be able to protect your top leadership once again if this is the result in your state of Rajasthan?
It's not a question about protecting any leader. You see, everyone is responsible for the job they've been given. We talked about the incident in Bharatpur. That was the most unfortunate incident where people lost their lives. The CBI is investigated, they've charge-sheeted people, investigations are fully on, and people who are responsible for it have actually been meted out punishments, whether they're bureaucrats or police officers, and any political person who was involved has also been charge-sheeted, by the way, irrespective of party lines. So it's wrong to say that the Congress is sitting back and not doing anything when something has gone wrong. But the issue of governance of a state is larger than one incident. And I think it's wrong to say that the BJP, which was in power for 5 years last time, lost the election because there was infighting in the BJP. The BJP government actually failed. There were 70 people killed by police firing. And that is why the Congress actually said that this government is not worth keeping Rajasthan anymore, and we got elected. And let's have patience. I think let people be the judge and not the panelists and anchors decide what the results will be. Because this
sorry.
before the campaign started.
I think the Congress needs to really worry about what's happening in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is now on its way to becoming a bipolar state. The BJP earlier used to have to form an anti-Congress alliance with a lot of local leaders, and it never got a majority. The first time it got a majority was in 2003 with Vasundhara Raje, and now again it's on its way to getting a majority. So clearly, the Congress is ceding space to the BJP, and the BJP is coming up as a solid opposition force to the Congress. So that's one more state gone from the Congress.
More importantly, of the two states we've covered, Congress party loses Delhi.
I have a question.
Or is it a hung situation in Delhi and the Congress party loses Rajasthan? Let's look at the national picture, gentlemen. What is the story we are getting at the national picture? Ajay, at the national level, please.
No, I have a question for Sachin.
Yeah.
If he's with us still. I am told that there is some talks about some understanding between the BSP and the Congress, both for the Assembly and the Lok Sabha. Is that a possibility? Because, you know, you'll be needing, just like the BJP earlier needed some smaller parties, the Congress support has been declining. So is that a possibility?
Well, first of all, we have 20 MPs from that state out of 25. We have a government that's got clear majority. There is absolutely no question of going with any political party. We have, I think, one of the strongest bases in North India is in Rajasthan. And Rajasthan people, I think, are the best judge of who should govern them. I don't think Congress party is going for any alliances pre or post. Polls.